I haven't done a video in a minute, so let me put this thing on because there's things to talk about. Like, trust the process. I know when people say that, it can relate to different contexts, but in this context, I'm talking about the process of life, the process of the flow, the process of ebb and flow, and trusting the process. It's been the most beneficial thing for me to understand that there's alignment and flow and allowing life to flow. I chase nothing. I chase absolutely nothing. I haven't chased a thing in so many years. I remember when I was younger, like in my early 20s, and I wanted to be a singer, and I would make my little demo tapes, and I'll be like trying to get in people's hands, and trying to hustle my way into people's studios and get on people's tracks and stuff like that. And it was never a comfortable thing for me to do, but I always thought it was what needed to be done. In order to get to the place that you need to be, you need to work for these things. And then for after doing that for a little bit and feeling like I'm kind of like coming outside of myself or my character to ask for things, and I realized how in this I learned, nobody ever give you anything just to give you anything. People see you wanting something and you're in a search for it, or you're chasing it. There's always going to be people who want to give you what you're asking for, give you what you're chasing, but it comes with a whole bunch of other stuff. And very early on in my life, I knew that there was probably not much I would compromise my integrity for. And in that, I had to realize that this is all about the long game. Is committing to what you love and doing it to the fullest, and finding joy in the process, and not and unattaching yourself or detaching yourself from the outcome. So it's the outcome that we chase. It's just like, if I did this, it would lead me to this. If I did this. And when I realized, like, if I just find the joy while I'm doing this, wherever it leads, it's going to be joyous and peaceful and great. And even if it isn't, then there's a reason why it isn't. And then, as long as I don't die, I live another day to keep going. So I never chase anything. And I've learned this, and I've lived my dream without having to chase anything. I'm just consistent in what I know I am, what I know I'm capable of, what I know I can do without completely just putting myself at risk or compromising myself in any way, and just being okay with it, and saying yes when it feels good, and I've said yes when it feels good, and it just leads me in all kinds of places where I'm just like amazed at my life, in the life that I've lived. But this part of it, this is the spiritual part of it, in understanding, because even understanding that, for as long as I've understood that, I will go through these stages where there's complete stillness, right? There's nothing happening, at least from what it looks like before, when things were happening. There's movement, and I'm performing, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then I'll go through these stages where I'm completely voided. Like, I feel nothing. I don't feel to call a person back. I don't feel to text nobody back. I run a whole entire business out here. I have my own business. I have an Instagram page for my hair, because I do hair. And like for like a good 2-3 months, I just unmotivated to do anything. And within that time frame, when I'm just feeling like just in this down space, I just do the bare minimum to get by for me and my children, make sure that they're eating and they're loved on. But I'm motivated to do anything else, And usually, I've learned my patterns in a way to where I have my little down periods, and it will last for like 2 weeks or so, and then I pick myself back up. And whenever even not even picking myself back up, it passes. That time of like stillness passes, and then things start picking back up, and then I'm part of whatever I'm a part of, But there's sometimes when the stillness process is so long. Like this last time I've gone through this voided space, it was for so long. I think it was like 4 months or something, that I just been like, I guess we just gonna be still and not push anything. And when you're that still for so long, and you're so used to moving, you want to push yourself, you know. For me, I was like, maybe I should try this, and then I would try, even like I'll put, maybe make something and put it online, but there's no heart in it, so it don't really resonate like how I want it to resonate. And then I realized, like, I'm trying too hard. Like, this, I never try hard, you know. I just work on me. I try hard on working myself and fixing myself. But as far as this exterior things, I don't chase none of that stuff, you know. All the stuff that I do is just stuff that's a part of my alignment. And I'm just like, oh, this is what I'm doing now. But these last 4 months or so has been like, damn. And to understand that there's like flow, that even when there's stillness, it's still flow. You know, it's still flow. And in this stillness, I was just like, I knew that when I came out of this, what was on the other end of it would be like, what the fuck? This is epic. As I never planned any of these things. And so I gone through this 3-4 months of just like, I call it in my funk. But in this, I'm starting to realize this is like my download period, right? You know, when something is downloading, I'm just going off of computer terms, just coming off of my head. Like when you're downloading something off the computer, you can't really do anything else with the screen. Yeah, if you go off the screen, the thing takes longer to download. And, you know, as it's downloading, you just have to be still and wait till it's completely downloaded. And then when it's downloaded, and voila, you're watching your favorite movie or your whatever, you know, the app that you downloaded or whatever, and you get what you want from that. And I'm realizing now, when I'm in this real time of like, you can't move, because when I say I can't move, like I literally have no energy to get out of bed. You know, and I would say, oh, I'm depressed, but it's just like, am I really depressed? You know, I don't feel real sadness around it. It's just like no motivation to get up. And I lay in bed till about 12 something. You know, thank God my kids are independent as they are, because I'm able to check in here and there. But we're all on a downtime when mommy is going through this, and they feel it too, you know. So, you know, and I realized, like, this is my download period. If I'm just still, because if I move around too much, then I slow down the process. You know, you click off the screen when you're downloading something, you slow down the process. And or uploading or whatever. And I realized, I was like, if I'm just still, I just have to allow this download to happen. And once it's downloaded and I push play, I'm on a whole nother level. And I feel these things physically in my body too. Like when I'm going through this fatigue downtime, like I feel sick in my body. Like I throw up, you know, I'm dehydrated, even though I know I should be drinking water. Like I said, sometimes I don't want to get out of bed, and my body feels it. And then then there's this something big will happen. I'll either get really sick and like, you know, have like one big like, and throw up, and then it passes, and then beast mode come out, right? It's like I have all this energy to do everything that I hadn't done in the last 4 months. I would do it in a day. Like in a day. Ask my kids, it's like I'm on speed or some shit. But I know it's spiritual, you know, and I know that when I'm still and I get these downloads, and then it passes, these moment of stillness passes, and it's like, okay, now it's time this is the movement time. And I don't, like I said, I don't chase anything, I don't look for anything, and it all comes to me. But in this last 4 months, as I was saying, look at my fancy cup, I just got it from a little store. I'm so excited about this passing this download period, man. Because so I just went through this thing, and I finally passed. I was listening to this video. This is when I got really sick, and it was just like, all right, this is the ushering you out of this stage into the next stage, you know. So it's just like I get really sick, and then I pretty much flush out this whole download period, and it's just like, all right, here I am now, ready to go to something next. So I got super sick. I even lost my voice. I didn't have a cold or anything. I just lost my voice like 3 days. But within that 3 days, I was super sick. I didn't lose my voice because I had like a cold sickness. I was sick feeling other things. And the sickness came to a head, or I came to a space where I just like felt like I was about to die. And I was listening to this video on YouTube of this woman talking about 7 stages of spiritual awakening. And part of the video, she was talking about when you come to certain some points of your spiritual awakening, you literally have to start operating from the heart space, and your heart has to turn into your brain. You have to operate from your heart and open those channels to let your heart do its thing. And as I'm watching this video with this woman, I go into a full-blown panic attack, and my heart starts racing, and it's like feel like it's about to bust out of my chest. And I'm like, wow, this is wild, man. So I'm feeling it. I'm laying in my bed as I'm watching this video, but when I feel like I'm getting shortness of breath, and I can, my heart is beating fast, and I'm like, man, I feel like I'm gonna die. So I kind of walked out of the room, trying to go outside to get some fresh air, trying to avoid my children's, stares, or, they don't want to make eye contact, because I knew they would know something was wrong. But anyways, I go outside and sit on my porch, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just, breathing in some fresh air, and it's feeling a little better as far as the breathing part, but my heart is still pounding. And I remember what this lady is saying on this video when she was saying it. She said, you have to be able to listen to what your heart is trying to tell you. And your heart don't communicate with words, Your heart communicate with feels. So if you're not paying attention, if you're not closely connected, then you will miss the message. But this message I couldn't miss. It was clear. My heart was literally like bursting out of my chest almost. And then I just started talking out loud, like, I get it. I'll listen to my heart. And there were certain things that I needed to stop doing, as far as like, some habits that I had developed. And I was just like, I need to stop some of these habits that I'm getting into. It was just clear communication from my heart to, like, let go of some things. But also, it was almost like activating my heart for this next thing that's about to come, because I found myself kind of getting out of this stagnant, download period. So I go through that. I make some commitments of myself, of what I would like to be doing next, and things I want to pay attention to, and mostly about my health, staying hydrated, eating more green foods, and just taking better care of myself. Because even in this stage when I'm downloading, when I say I'm downloading, I mean, it's like the universe is literally downloading things in my brain, in my head, in my entire being. Like, I feel neural pathways open in my brain. I feel smarter. I feel like my voice is better when I sing. I write better. Like, everything, I'm clear. I'm almost psychic almost when I go through these things, man. Especially when I first get out of it, the energy is so intense, and I feel everything. And then it's just like the universe just like opens up everything to me, man. Like, when I'm going through my search, my money was funny because I wasn't doing anything, because this is all in order. It's not just like, oh, this is the time. It's like, if you're not putting out work, you're not getting anything back. But I had nothing to give, so I didn't put nothing out. So everything was funny. Now, as soon as this passed, my money opened up like without me doing nothing. The money just opened up. All right, money opened up. And then I was like, all right, time to get back into the arts. Trying to get back, because I want to play music. I want to get back out there. I want to perform. But I never wanted to chase any of this stuff, and I felt like in that stage, I had to call people and set things up. And I remember I hit my friend up, because I wanted to do a photo shoot, and I hit up my homie who's a photographer, and she was like, oh, I haven't done it in a while, and there was some reluctance there. And like I said, I never try hard. So whenever I feel like there's any bit of a block, I'm like, oh, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing, or I'm not supposed to be going in this direction. So I'm gonna just pause and see how this thing flow. So my intention's out there, but I never really do anything to like make this happen. I wait to see if I'm in alignment with my intentions about what the universe shows me. So I feel like I'm saying the same things over and over, but I'm so excited. I don't care if I'm repeating myself. But anyway, I go to Ross like yesterday. So I'm getting out of this 4-month period, and I feel it. My energy level come back. I did every laundry in my house in one day. I cleaned my house. I like bought a bed. Like somebody gifted me a bed, like a bed frame and a new bed. And it's from Amazon. And this thing's been in a box just sitting in my house for a month. Like a brand new bed. Like I was sleeping on the twin size, day bed that was super beat up. The springs was all broken, and I have a brand new bed, and I had no energy to even set it up. But within a day, I set it up. I cleaned my room. Just superhuman stuff I was going through. And so I go to Ross to get like a basket for my room, and I go, and this woman, I'm going up the stairs, and this woman in a mask, I'm in a mask, and she was like, I know you. I know you. I met you at a campground. And this time, I remember you with a whole bunch of people and you were camping on the North Shore. And I was just like, what the hell? So, and then I actually did remember her because she was camping by herself and I was with a whole bunch of people and children and we needed more space. And she offered up some of her space for us to campground on, her campground for us to be on. And communicated with had a conversation with her briefly, and she ended up leaving that night or whatever. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember you. And she was like, yeah, I went to LA and I just came back. And she was just like, I'm a photographer and I just really been trying to shoot. And are you into stuff like that? Would you be down for a photo shoot? And and then she pulls out her phone to show me the stuff that she does. Badass. Like, she's just like doing, like, she does all these legit like Hollywood lifestyle stuff with like Snoop Dogg and all these people. And just random, mind you, like a day earlier, I had hit up my homie and she's just like, I don't know, da, da, da. And I just randomly walks into this woman who remembers me from a campground. She don't know what I do. I don't know what she do. She just throws it out there. And I was like, yeah, apparently we're supposed to be doing this together. So we exchanged numbers, and that's the thing that's in alignment. And that's about to happen. There was a couple of other things that happened as far as, like I said, my money opened up in like some weird ass ways. So I was just like, really? I'm getting money there? Okay, cool. Thanks, God. I'll take it. And then I'm getting back into music. I was just like, Ronnie, my husband that I'm separated from, he's like my favorite producer, and I feel like we're so compatible musically that it's been very difficult to move forward doing music without him, and I know it's a mindset thing, and I'm settled into the way I do music with him, and I'm evolving because I've done other stuff. I did this stuff that's actually on Shangri-La. I did a song with the Shangri-La Museum in Hawaii, and it's on their website, and it's pretty dope, and I was able to do that. But there's something inside of me that knew, like, the connection that I had with the music that I did with him, I need to feel that kind of a connection again on like a real level to be motivated to do music on the level that I was doing it. And I'm sitting here, it was like, and then like 2 days ago, or yesterday even, my brother calls me from Liberia, and he calls and he was like, D, I need you to meet your #1 fan here in Liberia. Your #1 fan in Liberia. And I was like, what? He was like, this guy, he's been watching your YouTube. I show him, he has like the biggest studio in Liberia. Anything that's coming out of here is coming out of his studio. He wants to work with you. We need to figure out a way where we can get some music going, to put some music out here, because we know you're coming to Liberia this year. And it's just like all this music stuff my brother done planned out for me. This dude who's like the #1 producer in Liberia, who's like super, stoked about me. And we're exchanging all this information. And he was just like, I'm going to send you music. So I'm getting Afrobeat music from Liberia to write to. It don't get no more authentic than that. And that alone, just the idea of that, just like opened me up from somebody who actually sees me as an artist and appreciate my artistry. So, because there's a difference there. Because you can go to people, it's like, oh yeah, I do this music, and they will give you music. And I've worked with people like that. It will give you music, I'll write something, I'll record it, and it's cool. Then you have people who freaking are fans of yours, and they say, I am your fan, and that's why I want to do this. My video director, Gabe Howard, is like that. He heard me sing. He was at an event. He came here to visit from California. He came to Hawaii to visit, and he was at an event. And he heard me sing. I was on stage singing, and like I didn't even meet him that night, but he just took all these amazing pictures of me, during that event, and he Instagrammed me and was just like, yo, I am such a fan. Whatever you're doing, I want to be a part of it. Let me shoot your next video. I heard this song, I want to shoot a video. Like, and it just helped direct you, just like, all right, this is somebody who's part of the alignment. There's not much I have to do when it aligns like that. So that's how I know it's real. And this dude has produced the most dopest videos on me. And then this kid in Liberia who is a fan, that's alignment. And I'm about to get music from Liberia. All of that opened up. I didn't even have to try, right? And then I'm sitting here just now, the reason for this video, I'm sitting here and Brianna, oh, I love her. So I know so many people out here, and I met all these women at one time in my life, these beautiful Black women, and then there's just some of them that just like stuck around and just stay with me and just have my heart and just show me how much they love and appreciate me. And Brianna's always been one of those people who just in my corner, like really, like I've had some really shaky times with a lot of people out here, but there's some relationships that were just never shaky from day one. Any beef on me, she's like, I'm like, what you need, I got your back. what, you know, she's always been that chick for me, and ride or die, for real. And I feel the same way about her. Like, I got her no matter what, you know. And I'm sitting here and my Instagram is going off like this. Somebody just liking all these pictures on my Instagram. She sent me a text like, babe, I'm at this event with all these black people and there's these dope people and they're putting on this event and I just told them about you and they're watching your Instagram and they're so stoked. And then the girl sends me a message like, oh my God, who are you? I would love to talk to you. And then you talk right now. And I'm like, yeah, the girl who's putting on this event, she calls me right away. She's super stoked. They're putting on this event. The next one they're having is in March and it's about, you know, your voice and using your voice and blah, 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 blah. And she's going to call me tomorrow so we can talk more about it. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't have to chase anything. You don't have to chase anything. You have to keep in mind the thing that you're chasing is running from you. So even in these times where we find ourselves super still, like you can't do anything, you have no motivation, you feel like you might be a little depressed, you have to trust the process and just let that pass. Don't force yourself out of that. That is your download period. This is the time your body is like, all right, we need to get you ready for this next step. So if you need to get smarter, you're getting smarter. If your voice needs to get better, your voice. And when I told you I was hoarse and my voice went away, I'm still a little hoarse, but then I start singing again and I'm hitting notes and I'm just like, I ain't hit that note before, or at least not that pretty. And spirituality is the shit. When you understand yourself in a spiritual way and you start to break down your own patterns, like this fifth dimension that people talk about, us evolving, elevating to the fifth dimension, is here. The fifth dimension is here. I'm living in it. I am living in the fifth dimension. And let me tell you, in the fifth dimension, nothing is hard. Nothing is hard. You set intentions, you're pure about your intentions, and it's right at your feet. You don't have to try. You don't have to try. Trust the process and just fix yourself. Work on you. That's it. That's it. If you're a painter, if you're a singer, you don't have to call no galleries. You don't have to and I truly believe this because people are really out here chasing things, you know. You don't have to call no venues. You don't have to, you don't have to do none of that. Work on your art. Work on your art. Perfect what you do and what you need will come to you. Don't chase anything. And understand your own patterns. And when you're in your download stage, allow yourself to download completely before you move forward and do anything else.